Nessus. Tenable provides many pre-written audit checks that define configuration settings covering legal requirements, industry standards, and best practices, as well as manufacturer recommendations. You may customize these checks to suit your needs or create your own. Custom checks can be helpful in many ways. You can create checks specific to your organization's security policies. As an example, for end-user desktops and servers, you can check for adherence to minimum password requirements, firewall rules, and USB device policies. For network devices, you could audit firewall rules and access control lists that pertain to your environment. For virtualized environments, you could gather a list of virtual machines and their current state, determine patch status, and more. On a Windows system, in addition to checking registry settings and file contents, you can audit using WMI queries, PowerShell commandlets, and scripts. Windows Management Instrumentation is an extremely useful interface to extract information from Windows hosts about processes, services, network interfaces, and more. For example, you could leverage the Nessus audit language to run a WMI query to ensure that a given process is or is not running. For environments implementing Microsoft's Hyper-V virtualization technology, Nessus also supports leveraging WMI to gather information about virtual machines from Hyper-V hosts. Running Windows PowerShell commandlets and scripts is helpful for gathering information, and PowerShell also supports running some WMI queries within it. However, utilizing WMI queries directly instead of through PowerShell can be helpful for older Windows operating systems that do not support PowerShell. In addition to running commandlets, you can also run PowerShell scripts through an audit check to gather more detailed information than a commandlet would provide. For example, you could write a script that lists local user accounts and the properties of those accounts, including account type, account name, description, password properties, security identifier, and more. This functionality gives you the freedom to run certain PowerShell commandlets and PowerShell scripts, as well as any WMI query you want, and have the results included in a Nessus report. On a Unix-type host, the possibilities for information gathering and auditing are broad. The ability to run commands directly on the system and return those results through an audit check is a very powerful feature, which should be used with caution. Proper account control and command execution policies should be in place for the administrative login that Nessus uses. You may also customize some existing audit checks directly within the Nessus interface. When adding audit checks to a scan policy, editable fields will be exposed for you to customize as needed. The Nessus audit syntax is a coding method developed by Tenable and designed to specify a desired configuration of a host. It uses a specific language structured similarly to the XML syntax. There are many different types of audit syntax depending on the scan target. The structure of the audit file differs depending on the type and operating system of the host. Be sure to check your audit file structure to make sure it is appropriate for the scan target. There are a number of tools available to help you generate your own audit files, including an audit file generator for checking MD5 hash and configuration file values on a Unix host. Two documents are available at the Tenable support portal that describe compliance check capabilities in Nessus. The first is the Nessus Compliance Checks Manual, which covers the basics of compliance checking using Nessus. The second, the Nessus Compliance Checks Reference, goes into extensive detail on how to construct your own audit file. It provides the syntax of the language, examples, and more.